Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart anchored one of the biggest film franchises ever, as well as the tabloid favorite romance that grew out of it around 2009. But infidelity, rumors, and just plain old Hollywood drama forced them apart in 2013. Here are some of the reasons behind Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart's breakup. When Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart first got close, Stewart was dating actor Michael Angarano. Some reports suggested an overlap in the relationships, with Stewart and Pattinson being spotted holding hands just a week before Angarano came to visit Stewart on the Twilight set. But Stewart wasn't the only one who brought drama and potential infidelity to the relationship at its very beginning. Jezebel reported in 2012 that Pattinson was hooking up with fellow Twilight star Nikki Reed, only ditching her when Stewart finally came around.
Perfect.
The gossip world seemed to explode when Stewart was busted cheating on Pattinson in the summer of 2012 with her married Snow White and the Huntsman director Rupert Sanders. Stewart eventually confirmed she was in a relationship with Pattinson for the first time in her public apology. "This momentary indiscretion has jeopardized the most important thing in my life, the person I love and respect the most. Rob. I love him. I'm so sorry." Sources told Us Weekly that Pattinson was humiliated by the incident, but was still in love with Stewart. Even though Pattinson took Stewart back after she was caught cheating on him, the damage was done, and by May 2013, the pair were done for good. Sources told Us Weekly that the duo would often fight about Stewart's infidelity and alleged selfishness, with one insider noting, "He really put her through the ringer. Ultimately, it was like, either we move past this or we don't. It wasn't good for either of them." Another source told Us Weekly that the pair had a blow-up fight when Pattinson skipped a birthday party Stewart had planned for him. At the time, the insider had hopes that Pattinson and Stewart would reconcile and give their love another shot, but considering how much they were reportedly arguing in the wake of Stewart's indiscretion, ending their relationship might have been the right decision. Unsurprisingly, Pattinson found it difficult to move past Stewart's infidelity, and a source told Hollywood Life that the film heartthrob became consumed by the possibility of Stewart cheating on him again. And Pattinson was reportedly in an intense state of paranoia as their relationship headed toward the point of no return. An insider said, "Her cheating basically opened other doors in their relationship of what they didn't like of each other." While he was dating Stewart, Pattinson was accused of hooking up with Caitlin Cronenberg. The two met when Pattinson appeared in a 2012 film which was directed by her dad, David Cronenberg. According to Hollywood Life, Caitlin was seen with her arm on Pattinson at the film's wrap party in July 2011, when he was still very much involved with Stewart. The publication insisted that he and Caitlin were just friends, but we're not sure what to believe at this point.
I trust you.
Don't.
He was also linked to Riley Keough, whom he met through Stewart when both women starred together in the 2010 film The Runaways. Though he didn't begin dating Keough until after his relationship with Stewart came to an end, it's still a bit shady that he would hook up with one of her friends.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
No.
Insiders claimed Pattinson's sisters were, quote, disgusted by Kristen after the cheating scandal erupted, and that they held on to their resentment towards her for months. Even after he allegedly told his sisters to forgive Kristen, they still just felt the actress's efforts were all just empty promises and manipulations. A source told Life and Style that even Pattinson's pal, Katy Perry, also warned him to stay away from Stewart. The source revealed, Katy has told Rob that she thinks it's a really bad idea for him to reunite with Kristen. Katy warned him that Kristen will end up hurting him again. Since the breakup, Kristen Stewart has been vocal about how much she hated fans' attention on her relationship with Robert Pattinson. She told the Sunday Times in March 2017, "I didn't talk about my first relationships that went public because I wanted things that are mine to be mine. I hated it that details of my life were being turned into a commodity and peddled around the world." She also told LUK she kept the romance quiet because she felt that everything was being trivialized. "We were turned into these characters and placed into this ridiculous comic book, and I was like, that's mine. You're making my relationship something that it's not. I didn't like that." Robert Pattinson didn't like the infamy attached to the romance either, telling the Washington Post his relationship with Kristen Stewart wasn't a publicity stunt. For one thing, it would be a terrible marketing tool, and it's not utilized very well at all. People will say anything. I'm still amazed that people even believe anything that's said about us. A pal of the actor told Radar Online that the cost of fame was something the former couple used to complain about a lot. Rob really can't stand being famous, even though he loves his job. I'm sure all the hell he went through with Kristen was the final straw for him as far as fame is concerned. Once the Twilight Saga's filming and promotional tours were done, they moved on to other projects, and as a result, they simply grew apart. A source told Radar Online in late January 2013 that distance became a big issue when Pattinson flew to the land down under to film a new movie. With Robert out of the country 1,000 miles away, working in Australia, Kristen has been missing him badly. With an 18-and-a-half-hour time difference between them, the source added it was tough for Pattinson and Stewart to communicate with each other regularly. Pattinson allegedly was horrible at sending text messages and keeping in touch, and Stewart reportedly became frustrated that he wasn't giving her enough attention. A source told E! News that part of what made Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart stick was that the actor felt Stewart was the only person who understood him. Said the source, "Stewart is the only person who Pattinson can talk to about fame, and he feels like they are both on the same level and they understand one another."
You'll always be my Bella.
It seemed as if their bond from appearing in the ultra-successful Twilight Saga was the glue that kept them together. But clearly, it wasn't enough to help their romance go the distance. Following their 2013 breakup, an insider told Hollywood Life that Stewart had become super needy for Pattinson's affection, and things had gotten so bad that Pattinson, quote, felt like an adult taking care of a child. Kristen Stewart admitted on an episode of The Ellen DeGeneres Show that her youth made her relationship with Robert Pattinson extra intense.
I was 17 or 18 when it all kind of went down, and that's like the most uncomfortable, terrible, weird. You're 17 years old, I'm like, wow!
A source also told Hollywood Life the couple's 4-year age gap played a big role in the breakup. Pattinson allegedly felt like he was in charge of Stewart, and always being in control of their doomed romance became way too tiring for him.
You better hold on tight, Spider Monkey.
Their age difference was also apparent in the way they chose to live their lives, with the insider stating, "Stewart was too concerned about being an LA hipster, and he's preoccupied with working these days." We never thought we'd see these two back together again following their split, but life has a funny way of healing even the most intense vampire bites. Robston fans were shocked in June 2018 when the former lovers were reunited at a mutual friend's birthday party. An insider told E! News. Kristen smoked a cigarette and Rob stood and talked to her quietly. They were both serious, but stood together alone behind a car and exchanged a few words. If that doesn't sound hopeful enough, less than 2 weeks after their reunion, Pattinson had some kind words to say in regards to his ex. When Entertainment Tonight asked him to name some of the exceptional women he's worked with, he said,
I thought you were going to say Kristen Stewart because I saw you guys just hung out the other day.
Yeah, Kristen Stewart as well, yeah.
"Do you hear that noise? It's the sound of the Twihards' jaws dropping."